Hey everyone! So, don't look too hard. You've finally seen it. This is me at the end of a long day. I just wanted to take advantage of some downtime. My mind was racing and the baby finally fell asleep. He's been teething. This poor little raptor baby. He's taken a lot out of me. But I needed to refresh my kombucha, so I figured I would show you guys how I do it. So I will first tell you how I make my own SCOBY from scratch. You don't need to buy it online. Don't be fooled. It's so easy to make and it costs the cost of a couple spoonfuls of sugar, a few tea bags, and one bottle of original flavored kombucha from the store, and you get to drink most of that. So let's get started. I'm going to be trying a new flavor today, and that is tangerine. I don't know how it's going to taste. It doesn't look very appealing, but kombucha never really does. My kids picked a ton of tangerines from my parents' tree, and we just had so many they were going bad. So I was like, why not? Let's try tangerine flavored kombucha. So we're going to be trying that, and then I am going to be trying my hand at lemonade kombucha. I've never seen it done, but I've never looked it up, so I'm definitely not following a recipe. I just have a leftover half of a lemon, and we're going to find out if it works. Okay guys, so if you're starting from scratch, this is how easy it is. I've got my black tea with a couple spoonfuls of sugar already melted in. You want to melt the sugar because it's easier for your yeast to digest, and it's not going to be abrasive on your SCOBY. Then the back is starter liquid, which literally can be as easy as going to the store and getting original flavored kombucha. Don't get flavored tea, don't get flavored kombucha. That can taint your tea, and sometimes there's like oils in the tea that will harm your SCOBY. Take your room temp tea. Do not put your hot fresh tea into your jar. So you're going to pour equal amounts of black tea and your kombucha starter liquid, and a couple spoonfuls of melted sugar was in that black tea. So the next thing you're going to do is put a cloth over the top of this. It can be a rag, it could be a pre-fold, it could be a washcloth, anything except cheesecloth, because bugs can get in your cheesecloth, like those little annoying drain gnats. Then you just put like a string or a rubber band around the side of this. You set it in your pantry for 5 to 7 days, and you will see a white or yellowish film start across the top. It might look like a piece of mold or something, but then it starts to grow and it covers. The only time that you want to toss it is if it's blue or green or hairy, fuzzy. That's real mold. But let me show you what a SCOBY looks like. So this is my beautiful mother SCOBY. As you can see, she's been kicking it in this place for quite a while, because you can see all the different layers, and that's the layer formed each time I've poured new tea in. So she's floating right now. If I shake her or if I add some more tea, she will sink and she'll put off a new layer. And you can allow this to grow and just allow this to be your hotel, but I obviously need to replenish some tea because we just took some out. But this is a 3-gallon dispenser from a big box store. And you can pretty much get them anywhere, especially in summer. But instead of using the top, I used, it's actually a pre-fold for cloth diapers, but you can use like a dishcloth, or just don't use cheesecloth because the bugs can get through. So you just use like a little tie to make sure it's secure, but the kombucha can still breathe. So this is the perfect container for a 3-gallon continuous brew. And then you can buy swing top bottles on Amazon. They're actually on my wish list. But when you're not feeling very fancy, Aldi has these like pink lemonade sparkling waters, and you can take the little labels off if you're feeling up to it, but I ain't got time for that. So, but these work just fine. So points for reusing. This is our tangerine kombucha that I haven't tried yet. So we're gonna try this and then we're gonna get to making our lemonade kombucha. Okay, so this is just the pot that I made tea in. I am going to open this, and it has not been burped in forever. Burping just means when you open the spring top and just let a little bit of air out, but I wanted like max carbonation because I love the bite of soda, so I really wanted it to be super bubbly. So another tip, when you are making kombucha in your second ferment, which means your flavoring stage of adding fruit or herbs, you want to fill your kombucha level up to the neck where there's only about an inch of space left. The less space, you still want a little bit to just relieve some pressure, but the less space, the more bubbly it's going to be. Now you don't want to fill it all the way to the top because it could explode. That sounds scary, but it's possible. But that's why you want high quality bottles. You don't want to just get any type of cheap bottle, and you want to make sure they are specifically for carbonated or fermented beverages. This has been fermenting for about an extra week after the first initial ferment. So I'm going to hold it over this because I know it's going to bubble over and I don't want to make a mess. And now my whole table is going to smell like kombucha. The great thing about that amount of pressure, it totally strained all my fruit out for me. So if you can see those bubbles happening, that's like straight up soda equivalent carbonation, and that's exactly what I wanted. So yeah, it's a little messier, but it tastes so much better. I so wish I was right-handed so I could show you guys. Awkward right hand pouring. Let's see how it tastes. Ooh, that's really good. So, I'm not really getting tangerine vibes. Maybe I didn't put enough in, but it's super bubbly and it's super like sweet but still tart. Really good. There is like little pulp of tangerine, which is nice. There's two kinds of people in this world. People who take pulp in their orange juice and evil people. So now that this one is done fermenting and it's reached the flavor and carbonation that we want, we just put the swing top lid back in place and we can put this in the fridge. And kombucha always tastes better when it's super cold. All right, let's make some lemonade kombucha. So this is how easy it's gonna be. I'm going to take my clean swing top jar, which I washed out with white vinegar, not soap and water. Soap will kill the beneficial bacteria in your kombucha. So you use white vinegar to clean, and then you can do your second ferment. So first, I am going to squeeze this wonderful lemon into here. I'm sure this would be super helpful if I had a funnel that fit into here, but I don't yet. I do think I have one on my Amazon wish list, but I haven't gotten around to getting it yet. I've got my lemon squeezed in there. For the next step, I'm going to put a little bit of sugar in there. As much as I don't like adding sugar to things, the sugar actually aids in the carbonation. And because kombucha is already a little sour and lemons are a little sour, I'm afraid it's going to get too overpowering. So I do really love sour lemonade over sweet, but just a little bit goes a long way. Again, I need that funnel. super professional cooking show right here, guys. Final step. I told you guys this was super easy. I'm just gonna scoop my 3-gallon continuous brew over so I can dispense it. And this is why I love this one, because it has a dispenser on it. So I'm gonna fill up my swing top bottle here. Let's go over a few tips that would be good to know about kombucha. Kombucha is a fermented drink. It is a fermented tea, a black tea. So the ingredients are black tea, original flavored kombucha, and sugar. I do understand that a lot of people try to avoid extra sugar, but the sugar actually aids in feeding the yeast colony, which is the SCOBY. The SCOBY is the mother, and it is a symbiotic relationship of beneficial bacteria that forms on the top of your fermented drink. This is what creates all those amazing cultures that are so good for your gut. Another thing is it creates super beneficial acids for your gut. So it's really a gut healing, detoxing sort of fermented food. If you truly need to avoid processed sugar, so the SCOBY actually eats most of the sugar content. Then the only thing you have to worry about is caffeine, and you can choose to get black tea caffeine free. Now if you're super worried about using processed sugar, you can always do June instead of kombucha. June is green tea and honey. So if you're super opposed to processed sugar, even if you can do like coconut sugar or things like that, if you're still opposed, you can do June instead of kombucha. So that is green tea and honey instead of black tea and sugar. Either way, pretty much similar benefits, maybe a couple different probiotics depending on your strain, but still has great detoxing and gut health type benefits. Let's go over some rules. Don't use soap and water on your containers. Use distilled vinegar. Try not to handle your SCOBY a ton. It really likes to be left alone. Kombucha loves warm, dark environments. So you want to store your brew in the back of your pantry or in the back corner of your kitchen. Some people who live in colder climates, I've actually seen them put their brewing glass on a heat mat or wrap it in Christmas lights. It's a little bit fire hazardy, so I would probably go with a heat mat. That seems a little bit safer to me, but here in Florida, it's plenty warm enough. So your times will vary on your brew, and you kind of learn as you go. So whereas my kombucha might be ready in 3 days, yours might take a week. It might take a week and a half. You're just gonna have to base it on trial and error and your own taste buds. So you can flavor kombucha with herbs, honey, fruits. We've done all kinds. So far, my favorite is pineapple, honey, and ginger together. You can always get super creative. My next flavor I want to try is jalapeno and vanilla, which sounds amazing. So get super creative with it. Come up with a new flavor. Share in the comments below if you try a new flavor. Tell me about it because I want to try it. So that's it. We did it. I taught you guys how to make a SCOBY, how to do a flavored second ferment, how to keep a continuous brew. If you have any questions or feel confused about anything, please just ask. It's so easy. You don't have to complicate it. You don't have to buy starter kits or anything like that. So I hope you learned a lot from this video and you feel empowered to do it yourself.